everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Leanna and I am a full-time reseller on Poshmark Canada and Poshmark US. Today we're going to talk about the 4 ways that I failed in February. But before we begin, I am not a failure. I have failed to do certain jobs and tasks that actually made my February a little bit less than it should have been. It's not a big deal, but ways I can improve. So February was not horrible. It was just not up to really what I wanted to be at. And I sat down at the end of the month and thought, where did I go wrong? What didn't I do? What did I do? So what can I continue to do? But what didn't I do? How can I improve? I came up with 4 different ways that I could improve on my performance. Number 1, I had too much time off. Number 2, I was not using my Poshmark US account to its full potential. Number 3, I was having a hard time letting go of old or stale items. And number 4, and probably my biggest one, is that my death pile is so overwhelming. So how am I going to fix those? They're not huge issues, and they're not issues that just pertained to February. But I sat down and came up with a plan. Number 1, having too many lazy days or having too much time off. This is something that I struggled with earlier on in my Poshmark journey because I wasn't used to working for myself. But you know what? Things came along and I started getting in a routine and it was great. But for some reason in February, I don't know if it was the weather, whether it was just some emotional things going on, that I wasn't scheduling myself anymore. I am a list person. I like routine. I like schedules. It helps me be more efficient. And for some reason in February, this is Finn, if you can see him. In some reason in February, I just stopped doing it. So what I do now, and what I did March 1st, is I sat down and I scheduled the week. I took my week and said, this appointment is here, this event is here, and whatever. And it gave me a clear picture of what time I had available to schedule my downtime. Because downtime is very, very important. We need to recharge. We need to step away sometimes so that we can come back and really focus on what we need to get done. So for me, scheduling my week and knowing what time is available and having that downtime scheduled is something to look forward to. And for me, that helps me work what I have to work. Hi, Finn. Are you going to come say hi to the people? Okay, sit. Okay, hopefully this continues to work and he doesn't mess anything up, cutie patootie. Okay, so that's what I'm doing to fix my lazy days. Now, in February, Poshmark US decided, well, they didn't decide, I think the government decided that everybody using the platform needed to input their social security number. I am Canadian. I do not have a social security number. I have a social insurance number, and they're not the same thing. So when this happened, Posh also decided that until you inputted that information, that they would not allow you to print shipping labels. Fine. I wanted to know exactly what I needed to do. I wanted to do it the right way. So I contacted my accountant because he's my expert, and I also contacted Posh US to find out what they wanted me to do. I put my closet on vacation mode. And by the time everything got all figured out and I knew what I was doing, it was almost 2 weeks before I could reopen. That's fine too. I understood it going in. It was my choice to put it on vacation, so I wasn't feeling stressed if I sold something and couldn't print the label. Fine. So, you know, if you put your closets on vacation, sometimes it takes some time to get the momentum back going. And I kind of ran out of, got out of the routine of sharing that closet, of listing in that closet. So it really hurt the sales on my my PMUS account, which I knew going into closing it would do. Fine. But how do I fix it? How do I build that momentum and gain that routine? Well, again, I am very much a schedule and a list person. So on my list of to-dos on the days I work, the first thing I do when I go to work is I share my closet. So now it says share PM Canada and PM US, and I have to click it off. I have to do a little check mark. It works for me. That visual and that physical actually checking it off works. I also need to build up my available listings in that account because right now they're below 100. And I really truly believe that to have a better closet, you need to have more items. So I want to get to between 200 and 300 available listings for the month of March. That's not as hard as it sounds. I am trying to cross list over 10 a day. 10 a day is not hard to do. It won't take very much time. I don't need to be using any sort of program to help me cross list that many right at this moment. But to do it myself won't take time. So that goes on to my schedule. So I share my closets and I cross list to PM US first thing in the morning. It's done, it's finished, I don't have to worry about it. And then I just have to share a couple more times during the day. Cool. I also, March 1st, started relisting my whole entire US closet. That really, really helped. It got some fresh eyes on my items. And in the first 2 days, I sold 4, which is, wow, that's amazing. So that's how I'm going to fix that. I'm actually going to be very conscious of having to go in and do the work. See the theme here? So the third reason that I thought I was failing is that I'm really having this issue with not letting things go. I have items in my closet that have been there for too long. And I get this mindset. It's like, those pair of jeans, they're worth $50. I know they're worth $50. But they've been in my closet for a year and a half. They've been relisted so many times. And I send out offers and nobody's buying them. So I got to let it go. So if I get an offer on it, if I'm still making profit, it's out the door. I really need to start moving these items. I am still purging my closet as well, which is going to help me get that fresh start in April. But really and truly, learning to let go is not easy for me. So I'll just keep thinking of that song, Let It Go. I will not sing it, but I will think of that song. And I will just let those items go. The fourth and final way that I feel that I am failing is that my death pile has gotten way out of control. And it's not like I'm shopping. I'm not. I'm being very particular about what I pick up. It's just that I think I'm listing that stuff first and I'm forgetting about the pile that's sitting at the office. So in order for me to really bring it home, to really realize what was sitting in my office, I went through my death pile on the weekend. I have about 50 items here at home that still haven't made it to the office. That's fine. They're newer items that have been laundered or whatever. But at the office, and I'm going to put up some pictures, same pile, different views, and I counted and I organized this pile. There was 158 items in this pile. Now, I think that's way too many. I also thought it would be a lot more, so I was kind of happy about that. But really and truly, that's too many items. And you know what? We can all look at our piles and go, yeah, that's a lot, but still go thrifting. We've all seen the memes. People make fun of it all the time. But really and truly, I don't think it's funny. For me, at this level of death pile, it's too much. And this is how I have decided to look at it. I have a total of 208 items sitting in my death pile. It's unlisted inventory. It's already bought and paid for, but it's doing nothing for me. If I bought those items at approximately $6 a piece, which is not a bad cost of goods, and is fairly average for me, that would mean that I have spent $1,248 on a pile of things sitting in my office doing nothing. Now, out of those 208 items, they should all sell because they're pretty good items. Say I earn $15, and that's kind of a minimum amount that I would earn. But $15 per item comes out to $3,120 sitting in my office doing nothing. Take away the cost of goods, 320 minus 1248 leaves me with $1,872. And apparently one gray cat. Sorry. $1,800 is ridiculous to be sitting on my office floor doing nothing for me. I need to list those items. That money, do you know what I could do with that money? What would you do with that much money? That's a pretty nice chunk of change, right? So, what I've decided to do, I have done no buy months before, and they did work for me. However, I want to put the focus on the death pile. I want to put it on the listing, not on the not buying, if you understand what I mean. So, my challenge to myself is I need to list 150 of my death pile. 150 items from my death pile gets listed before I can source again, with one exception. We do have a little trip planned next week because it is my birthday weekend, and we are going to, just out of town, just overnight, but we'd love to go to new thrift stores and just see what that market is like. So I am planning to source that trip because it's my birthday. So the other part of this rule is I list the 150 from my death pile, and I also list whatever I buy during that little thrift trip. That's my goal before I can source again. And this way I'm putting the focus on the listing and not on the not buying. Now, 150 items is really what my goal is every month anyway. I have listed more, so I'm not overwhelmed with the amount of listing I have to do. To me, it's almost a normal month. I do have to, step it up a bit, but that's okay. I think I need to do that in order to get rid of my February bleh, right? So that's what I'm going to do. I am absolutely listing those items, and there's good items in there. I was like, oh, I forgot I had that. Oh my God, that is so pretty. It's a silly, silly thing. I'm going to start April with less than 60 items in my death pile, which some of you might think is too many as well. And you know what? I'm not sure yet. I want to do the experiment in April to see if I can get to the point of sourcing and listing. Source, list, sell. That's my goal. Eventually this year, I want to source, I want to list it, I want to sell it. And I want no death pile. That is the goal. So starting off April with significantly less in that pile is good for me. So those are my 4 fails of February and my 4 fix-its for March. How's your death piles going? Do you guys even have one? Like, are you one of these people that sources and lists and sells? Because I would love to hear how you do that. That would be very educational for me. That's all I have for you this week. I hope you enjoyed this content. If you do like this type of content, think about subscribing. Give me a thumbs up. I will be back next week. I have no idea what I will be bringing. Who knows? Maybe I'll do a thrift haul from my little trip. I'm not sure yet. Maybe I won't buy anything. Yeah, that's not true. I'll probably buy something. Well, until next time, everybody have a great week. I'll see you later. Bye.